Hey polish freaks, welcome back. I have a new review today. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera and it feels kind of good but kind of weird. I finally have my hands on the Olive and June It's Tea Time Spring 22 collection, and the colors are so beautiful and I can't wait to share them with you, and there's definitely a few that are standouts for me. Olive and June sent me this collection. I do have a coupon code GOPOLISH20 for Olive and June, and that's for a mani or pedi system for new customers. It comes with a beautiful box and it comes with everything you need for an at-home mani. It comes with remover, files, clippers, top coat, and you can pick just one polish or you can pick 6 polishes to go with the system. But it's nice to pick up the system when they have a new collection that comes out and there's a lot of new shades that you want to get, and so this is a good time to do that. So you can use that code if you want to. And thanks so much for your support. That is an affiliate link. Okay, so let's talk about the polishes. There's 6 creams, which I'm excited about. I kind of was getting tired of shimmers. By the way, I have the China Glaze collection coming up. I am just going to do that on Instagram, partly because I wasn't that excited about it. Maybe I should quickly do a review here. I haven't made up my mind yet, but most likely they'll just be on my Instagram page if you want to check those out. So there are 6 beautiful creams in the collection. We're going to start with this one. It's Strawberry Scone. By the way, I'm loving all the names in this collection, and this is one of my favorite names. This is a beautiful, really pale, soft, cooler toned pink, and it's a sheer. So it's going to take, I would say, 3 to 4. I like to do 4 thinner coats just because I like to have that really opaque look for my shears. And I prefer the thinner coats just because it can tend to bubble a little bit if you do thicker coats, and that's true with any brand. I do like Olive and June's shears though. I feel like they do have a very even application. Sometimes shears cannot be very even, and I think the brush has a lot to do with that, but their shears have always applied very nice and evenly for me. So this is a beautiful one. I do appreciate that it's cooler toned. I really do love the cooler toned polishes more than the warmer, especially if they're a nude. I love this one. So it instantly reminded me of one of my favorite shears, which is called Inside Scoop, and that one is similar. It does have more of that pink base to it, so the more you build it up, the more you're going to see that difference, but it is a little bit hard to see that difference if you're just doing a few coats. But I have to say I like that one a little bit better just because it shows up a little more as a pink, and this is more of like a white milky pink. So let's look at those comparisons because I did do other comparisons as well. So I compared it to Inside Scoop like I talked about, and you can see that it's very close, especially on the nail, but it is quite a bit pinker in the bottle. And then Ballet Slippers has a little bit more white to it, and then Gossamer Garments is more of a warmer pink, just so you can see there, and that's also an SE Gel Couture. Out of those, I think my favorite is probably Inside Scoop and then this one, but they definitely are a little bit different, but kind of the similar feel. So I really did like this one, and by the way, this is the one that I'm wearing on my nails. I just love a good sheer, especially this time of year. The next one we have is The Queen Takes Her Tea with Milk, and I love this name as well. And this is another sheer. This one's a little bit different than other sheers I have in my collection because this one's more of like a brown mauve. It definitely has the brown mauve undertones in it, and same as the other one that I just talked about, Strawberry Scone. I like to build these up in 4 coats. You probably could get away with 3, but you are going to see a little bit of that nail line. Probably going to depend on how strong your nail line is or if that bothers you or not, but I did 4 coats on all my swatches. Also, I do have a gel overlay on my nails in these swatch videos, so they might look a little bit differently than they usually do, but just so you guys know about that. And I have been trying out different gel overlays. I don't have it on right now because I wanted to try to see how hard it was to soak off to give you guys a little bit of feedback. So I took that off yesterday. But anyway, this is beautiful. It's a little bit different. I feel like I might like it more in the summer. I'm gonna have to see because there wasn't a lot of contrast to my skin. So here are the comparisons for this one. I compared it to CCT, and that is from Olive and June, and that's more of a peach nude sheer. And so you can see how this one is more of like a brown mauve undertone. And then I wanted to compare it to Strawberry Scone, and so you could see how more of a pink white that one is. And then BEB is more of a white. When I held this bottle up to Point Doom, the color base is pretty similar, although that's an opaque polish and this is more sheer. That gives you an idea of what color tone that it is. HCG, I knew I'd get asked about that one. That one's definitely more white and it's slightly more opaque as you build it up, even though that is a sheer too, but it's different. So this is unique in Olive and June's line, and really I didn't have any nudes like this in my collection that were close to this one. Next is Golden Afternoon. Now it's showing up here as a really bright yellow, and hopefully you can see in this picture swatch here that it is a little bit more of a bright yellow, but it does have like a touch or a hint of mustard in it. So it's a little bit different, especially when I compared it to other yellows, but you'll see that in a second. But the formula is really great on this one. It built up really nicely. I want to say in 2 coats, but don't be surprised with a yellow if you have to do 3. I would say more do like 3 thinner coats with these, but it did have a really fantastic formula for a yellow. Those of you that love mustards, you're gonna like this. It's a little bit different than the mustards that you find that come out in the fall, like Mustard, the Courage, and Autumn's Up from China Glaze. Those are gonna be darker and richer and have more brown. This is more of an appropriate like spring summer mustard, I would say, in my opinion, because it's a little bit brighter, but it still has that mustard undertone, but it's definitely gonna be unique from other polishes that we've seen just because of that. So I do think this one is pretty special, and if you like yellows, I really think you're gonna like this one. So let's look at those comparisons. So I compared it to OPI Never Adola's Moment just because that one is a little bit more muted too, and it's kind of close, but maybe a touch more orange, but it definitely reminded me of that one. And then OPI Don't Tell a Soul is a brighter yellow, and I just wanted you to see that compared to it, what sets it apart. And then Check Your Baggage is more orange. Swatching that really made me want to put that polish on. That is a fun spring color, so I might pull that one out soon. Anyway, so this one is a little bit different. Obviously, Olive and June doesn't have anything like this one, so this is a good one to get for that reason, but I thought it was really beautiful. I just don't tend to wear yellow very often, so I'm not sure if I'll wear it or not, but I really do think it's a cool, unique color. Okay, so I had to hop on here because for some reason this segment of my review didn't save, so I just threw this shirt on and I'm back here, and it might look a little bit different, but I'm just continuing on with the review. So this next one is Cucumber Sandwich. Love the name so much. Love this color. It's so beautiful. It's a little cool toned. It kind of leans a little turquoise, and it's a beautiful, beautiful soft green. It's perfect for spring. You guys know I love these kind of greens. The formula on this one is really nice. It's going to be opaque in 2 coats. It just builds up very nicely. Let's talk about other greens that we have, because I definitely had some in here that kind of surprised me that this was close to, and some I know you guys are going to ask about. So I compared it to Turquoise and Caicos, and that one's very close. That one is actually quite sheer. I always forget how sheer that formula is on that one. And everybody loves that polish, and I have to just say it's kind of okay for me. I've never really loved it. I always feel like I wanted Turquoise to be a little bit brighter. So it's a classic though. I think I like Cucumber Sandwich a little bit more than that just because the formula is so opaque and just beautiful. And then I pulled out OPI My Dog Sled is a hybrid, and that's a little brighter and a little darker, but it's kind of close in color tone. And then it was pretty close to First Timer. That one's maybe a little bit more green and maybe a little bit brighter, but it just totally reminded me of that one, and so I had to pull that one out. That's kind of the color range it is. I did pull out like Bon Voyage and some of those mint greens, and those are a little bit lighter. So this one is a little bit darker than all of those mint greens that you have out there, so it's a little bit different. I did want to mention that Along for the Vibe is pretty close in color tone. It's just a few shades darker, and this one maybe has a little bit more blue in it. I love these both. These are both new. This is the Target exclusive one from the Movin' and Groovin' collection. I have a review of that one, but I feel like this is like the spring version, and this is probably like stepping it up to the summer version, but I love both of these so much. I really did like this one. Hopefully those comparisons are helpful, but this is definitely a standout in the collection. Then we have You're Invited. It's this beautiful lavender shade. It does lean a little more purple. I still haven't figured out if lavender or lilac, which one's more purple and which one's more pink. Maybe you guys can tell me that down below. I always keep forgetting to research that, and then I get on here and remember that I haven't done that. It is more purple. So I love it. It's got a great formula as well. This one's going to build up in 2 coats. You might have to do 3, but I would say 2. But here are the polishes that I did compare it to. I compared it to Don't Toot My Flute from OPI, and that one has a touch more blue tone to it. And then Groom Service is probably the closest. It's just maybe a touch darker. But if you love Groom Service and you're trying to collect some Olive and June polishes that are close to some Essie shades, then this is a good one to get. And then Fierce and Loving is more pink. So I feel like this one is more unique to Olive and June. A lot of the OPI polishes that I pulled out were even more purple, and this one has slightly more pink. So with all that huge range of all these kind of polishes, none of them are exactly the same, but it is just kind of like a purple lavender shade that we see all the time. But it's beautiful, and it's got a great formula, and I really love it. And then we have Jam Please. Love the name, love the polish. This is a beautiful color. This is right up my alley. It's a dark purple. It has some brightness to it, and it has some pink in it, which I love. Oh, I love it. The formula on this one is really great too. It's gonna build up really nicely in 2 coats, and I just know I'm gonna wear this one. Especially as we get into summer, I just know I'm gonna love it so much. I didn't pull out Bold and Unshaken, and I thought I'd get asked about that, but that one's more purple. But it did remind me of Kaleidoscope Eyes, and I thought it would be really, really close, but that one's quite a bit lighter and more pink, and you'll see that on the comparison. But I feel like this is that one's best friend, or sister, or cousin, or something, because it's just as beautiful. It's a little bit darker and a little different, and I'm glad to know that it's not like Kaleidoscope Eyes, because that one is just a polish that's above any polishes in my opinion, but this one's right up there, so this is definitely going to be in the running for one of my favorites for this year. But let's look at those comparisons. I compared it to OPI Positive Vibes Only, and that one's going to be more purple and darker, and Kaleidoscope Eyes, you can see, even though it still has a purple tone, it's more pink. And then TLG, which is new from their trio that just came out, that I did swatches on my Instagram, and that one's a little bit different as well. So there's nothing like this in Olive and June, and I didn't have anything like this in OPI or Essie, so this one definitely is beautiful, and this is going to be one that you should definitely pick up out of the collection, especially if you love purples, and it's going to be so fun for summer, and I love it. Okay, so here they all are together. I think it's just a beautiful cohesive collection. I'm glad they're all creams, so I really liked this one. I'm going to pick out 3 for my favorites, and let me know if you guessed right. So this green, because I love greens and I feel like it's a lighter first timer, which is awesome. So Cucumber Sandwich, Strawberry Scone, the one that I'm wearing right now, because I love these cool toned pinks that are sheer. And then this, probably like quite a bit more than these other ones, Jam Please. So those are the ones that I would suggest. I think all of them are great though, and quite unique, and I really like what Olive and June did with their collection this year. What are your thoughts on the collection? Do you think you're going to pick any up? Have you tried their mani or pedi system, and do you love it? Let me know down below. I'd love to have a little conversation with you guys. Thanks so much again for being here, and we will see you at my next review. Bye guys.